everyone, and welcome to There's No Such Thing as Normal, a podcast about neurodiversity, disability, and mental health. I'm Lou, your host, and I'm neurodivergent myself, and I'm also completely blind. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about neurodiversity and listening to the same songs on repeat. So this is something that I've done all my life, and I know that lots of other people have done it as well. It's quite a common thing. So I thought I'd talk about my experience and also the reasons behind why we do it and how it can make us feel. So to start with, I always thought that listening to the same songs was an autism thing, which it definitely is. But then I've recently realised that there's more to it and that it can also be linked to ADHD and even to past trauma. So I'm going to look at sort of how it feels and, those conditions individually and how it could link to that. So this is just my experience. As always, I'm not talking on behalf of anybody else. This is just my own experience of it. And I do know that lots of other people have a similar experience, but this is just how it feels for me. So as I say, it's something I've done all my life. And I remember when I was really young in the car with my mum, before we had Spotify and all those sorts of things, and it was CDs, I would play the same songs over and over and over. And my poor mum had to have so much patience. So it's something I've always done. And to be honest, I've always enjoyed listening to music in the car. I think I've always found it quite a thrilling experience being in the car and going along and listening to music. But why on repeat? Why 100 times? Well, this is why for me. So I connect deeply to a song, and it's a very deep connection. It feels like a song hits the spot. It satisfies something in my brain, and it's just, a deep connection, really. There's a lot of emotion behind it. So for me, because I connect to music so deeply, I get quite a strong emotional feeling from music. So, of course, different genres, different songs will bring up different feelings. And some of those feelings might be good. Some of those feelings might be not so good. But there's a lot of emotion behind it. Now, I think that it can be quite comforting if you've got a song that you really like. You sort of get that comfort from it. And I also think that music can bring up lots of memories as well. So, for example, for me, if I listen to a song a lot over a particular period, then when I go back to that song in 6 months' time, it will really remind me of that period, because it's sort of how we learn. We learn a lot through association. So we can then associate songs with particular feelings, particular situations. So that can be quite a good thing as well. And again, that sort of pattern recognition, we recognize patterns in things. And I think as autistic people, we can recognize patterns even more, and the sort of, associations between things. So that's one thing. And to be honest, it just gives me a massive, massive buzz. It's like I get such an amazing feeling. It's like a huge rush of emotions. It's so intense. It's just such an amazing feeling. So of course you want to repeat that because you get the good feeling out of it and it feels good and you connect to it. I also think that it can help you to process emotions, because certain songs can bring up emotions, and often maybe if you have trapped emotions, it could even help you to process those feelings. And I do find it really interesting, because for me, I'll listen to a song and I'll listen to it on repeat again and again and again and again, and then I don't get the same, what I'd call listening fatigue, that a lot of other people get, neurotypicals get, where a song just, becomes unbearable after a certain amount of repetitions. I can go with a song for a long, long time. And in all fairness, I never get bored of songs. I never lose interest in songs, really. The only thing that happens is that my emotional reaction to those songs does reduce over time. So the feeling that I get over time does fade. So in the beginning, it's really strong. And then over time, it's almost like you sort of draw all the emotion out of it and it does something, but then there's nothing left. It almost sort of feels like that. There's nothing left in the song because I've used up all the emotion. But for me, it tends to be either really happy or really sad songs that I connect to. So I don't know, it could be sad songs, happy songs, but it generally has to be one or the other. See, more neutral songs won't really do that, I suppose, because they're maybe not as emotional. But I also think it can link to ADHD in terms of dopamine, because we know that ADHD is all about dopamine, and that's the pleasurable feeling sort of neurotransmitter that, makes you feel good and gives you satisfaction. So music can be useful for ADHD because it can give you a boost of dopamine, it can make you feel great, it can motivate you. It does have lots of benefits, but I just think that it's something that I've always done and I always will do. It's just a very enjoyable experience listening to songs on repeat. It makes me feel good. And I think it can help with my mental health. It can help with emotional processing, and it can also help with ADHD. So, luckily for everybody else, I now have Spotify and headphones, so I'm not driving everyone mad. So I'd say, if you're listening to songs on repeat and you're driving everyone mad, or if you're listening and you know somebody that's doing that and driving you mad, then headphones definitely a good idea, because I can listen to my songs on repeat as much as I like without driving anyone crazy. So there you go. That is why I listen to songs on repeat and why it feels so good. And I hope that's been interesting for you to learn more about that. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon. Bye.